Thank you all for coming this morning. This trial is of great importance not only to Japanese people, but to all of humanity. As you know, former President of the United States made the decision to drop 2 bombs on 2 Japanese cities, effectively killing tens of thousands of innocent Japanese lives with an unprecedented level of power. This brought to an end the Second World War. Our Mr. President holds the position that his actions were justified in order to save lives and end the war. However, we would like to argue the exact opposite. I speak for the witnesses on our side that stand against the former president. Not only was dropping 2 atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki completely unnecessary, we believe that this truth is axiomatic in nature. Our arguments go as follows. 3 simple truths. Japan was not properly warned about the atomic bomb. The bomb's main purpose was to intimidate Russia in order to display the power of the United States. And finally, it was completely unnecessary to drop 2 bombs of the likes which the world has never seen before. Mr. Eisenhower, what did you know about the A-bomb at the time?
The A-bomb was kept a secret from even the highest military leaders such as myself. Truman did not even learn about it until he became president in '45. I learned about it when Secretary Boris Stimson came to me in Europe and talked about it with me, and that was when I first learned about it.
So did Truman or any other official consult you about the bomb?
This is where I see the wrongdoing was done. Even the highest military leaders were not consulted whatsoever. The decision to drop the bomb was kept strictly top level with Truman and his closest advisors. I was not consulted. I merely attended the Potsdam Declaration, but I was not consulted whatsoever.
What's your main viewpoint in the opposition to the atomic bomb?
I'm greatly opposed to it as it was unnecessary and cost the lives of tens of thousands of people that could have taken a different action to avoid that.
And why do you believe it was unnecessary?
I believe it was unnecessary because it was so unexpected and it wasn't even properly informed throughout all the countries involved, and it just wasn't really appropriate at the time.
So were you alerted of the bomb and its danger?
I was alerted in a very nonchalant way. At the Potsdam Conference in 1945, Truman approached me and stated, and I quote, "The U.S. possessed a new weapon of unusual destructive force." He never informed me it was an atomic bomb. He never informed me when it was going to be used, and he never claimed of its great power.
By my own culture, I'm supposed to be treating him as a god. So, with his utmost authority, I was forced to surrender to you when I did not want to.
And before that, what made you keep fighting?
The fear of being a third-class nation. The fear of losing all the honor that we have. And we are tired of being treated as anything lower than what we are now, and we want to prove that.
And did you believe that the A-bombs were necessary to have you guys surrender?
To think about it, yeah, we wouldn't stop.
Could you please state your role during World War II?
My name is Shigenori Togo. I am the Foreign Minister of Japan. Also, I am the leading member of the Peace Party within my Japanese government.
And what did you do when the Allies signed the Potsdam Declaration on July 26, 1945?
Well, I propose that my government should make no immediate response. Instead, we shall have to wait a while for a definite answer from the supposedly neutral Soviet Union.
My name is Harry S. Truman. I'm the 33rd President of the United States, and I made the decision to drop the bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Do you regret your decisions?
Not one bit, because it ended the war early and there was no other options that would have worked.
Do you feel dropping the bomb was the best solution to ending the war?
Yes. Like I said, all the other solutions that were proposed would not have worked. Hap Arnold said that the Japanese would have fought to the death. So yeah, that was by far the best possible decision. Maybe it wasn't like it was a lesser of two evils type of decision. You know, it's the only option.
What were the other alternatives? Besides what you said?
On June 18th, 1945, I called a meeting of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and they told me that the best solution, they all agreed that an invasion of the home island of Japan was the best solution, and the set date was November 1st. And since they were all high-ranking military officials, I trusted their judgment. A little bit later, in mid-July, at the Potsdam Conference, I received news that the atomic bomb had been successfully tested. So that's when I started to think that that was a better option. And George C. Marshall told me that a land invasion would cost between 250,000 and 1 million American lives. So that's when I decided that the best option would be to drop the atomic bombs.
Okay, so you did state earlier that your goal overall was to save as many lives as possible, correct?
Correct.
But that is false because you didn't take the necessary measures to try.
What were the necessary measures? Get 'em. What were the necessary measures? Get 'em.
Why didn't you give Japanese?
Because I'm listening to my officials, and they're in that place for a reason, so they have credibility. Obviously, they're there, so I'm going to use them, and they're credible enough for me to listen to them. Quit asking that question.
So you think that's safe? So it's safe to say that you like killing innocent women and children, correct?
Nope.
So then why wouldn't you take the previous?
I don't like killing my innocent soldiers in a land invasion.
But that's what they're there for.
To go die?
They
To go and get killed?
For a reason.
I'm pretty sure they don't join to go and get killed.
Really? The bomb, you said you wanted to save more American lives, correct?
Obviously.
And you realized the men that your soldiers were offering their lives to be taken away from them in the first place. So as their leader, they're trusting you to make the right decision.
Jury foreman, on the grounds of war crimes, how does the jury find?
The jury finds the defendant not guilty.
Let's go! Are you being historically accurate with this?